Right now at noon, a corrections officer was observed on video passing drugs to an inmate. We'll have the full story.
And it's a relatively chilly day out there and somewhat dreary as well, but these clouds will eventually clear. We'll talk about that forecast coming up.
Plus, a heavy consumption of alcohol is prevalent throughout Thanksgiving, leading to an increased risk of impaired driving crashes on already crowded roadways. We'll have what you need to know to stay safe this holiday weekend.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. In today's top story, a Newton County corrections officer has been jailed after being charged for passing drugs to an inmate. Paperwork filed by detectives in Newton County reveal a jailer was passing drugs to an inmate in exchange for money inside the Newton County Jail. 32-year-old corrections officer Corey Schrum was arrested Friday, November 17th and charged with felony delivery/possession of drugs in a jail and felony acceding to corruption by public servant. Schrum was transferred to the Jasper County Jail, where he remains on a no-bond hold. A deputy sergeant who routinely monitors inmate phone communications alerted a Newton County detective of suspicious contraband being passed in the jail. The sergeant pulled video related to 6 instances where they allege Schrum was passing drugs to an inmate. The most recent instance was Friday morning, the day of his arrest, where investigators say Schrum can be seen passing a plastic bag of white substance to an inmate. According to court paperwork filed, Schrum met with a girlfriend of an inmate who gave him the drugs. He then passed them to the inmate. According to the affidavit, Schrum told detectives that at different dates, he passed 4 rolls of chewing tobacco and 2 THC pens. Schrum told them that the inmate's girlfriend would pay him via Cash App to pass the items into the jail. On Schrum's Cash App, he accepted approximately $1,700 in U.S. currency since August from the inmate's girlfriend. He also had Facebook Messenger messages which detailed when and where the two would meet to exchange items to be passed into the jail for the inmate. Newton County corrections officers searched inmates in the jail. 1 inmate was found to have a plastic bag with a large amount of meth. 2 other inmates there were found to have plastic bags that look like chewing tobacco inside. Schrum is scheduled to be arraigned Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. in Newton County Court. Some residents in Carthage, Missouri are questioning the city administrator's employment. After going through council minutes, Carthage resident Bill Putnam says he realized that the city administrator, Greg Dagnam, does not meet the residential requirement of living within city limits. Dagnam has lived outside of the city limits since his time as police chief. However, the city attorney says that the city council's action of hiring Dagnam for employment waived the residential requirement. Putnam believes the hiring process is against Carthage's charter because the council didn't vote to waive the requirement.
The person that was the chair of the hiring committee did ask the city attorney, hey, do we need to make 2 separate votes here since we know Greg lives outside the city? And the city attorney said, no, if you hire the guy, you're pretty much saying that you're okay, that he is qualified and where he lives is fine.
Putnam filed a complaint with the Missouri State Auditor's Office. The city of Joplin is accepting applications to fill a short-term council seat. The seat was opened after council member Kate Spencer resigned from her position last week. It'll be up for election in April to finish out the 2 years remaining, but in the meantime, someone will be selected to fill it until the election. People can apply at the Joplin City Clerk's office that began today at 8 a.m., and the council will decide from the candidates in a December meeting. And Black Friday is a big time for businesses big and small, but for some local businesses, it's a chance to gain some ground on the chain stores. We spoke with officials at Game Co. in Joplin about how they prepare for Black Friday. They say it's important to focus on the current gaming trends to make sure customers get the deals they're looking for.
We started seeing the car commercials and the Best Buy and those places doing, basically Black Friday from the beginning of November. We were like, man, if we don't do something different, you're trying to wait till the end. I think a lot of people are starting to shop so much earlier, and Black Friday itself is not such a big, important date.
To find out more about Black Friday deals, just head on over to the money section on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com.
And we've got ourselves a cloudy and chilly day across the area. Temperatures not going to make it where we're supposed to be, but They certainly are giving it the old college try. Quick look outside. Our camera on top of the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. Still have the clouds over the city, but we are going to start to see some clearing as we go later into the afternoon and into the evening hours. Cloudy skies evident from the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line. Otherwise, things starting to dry out a bit out there. We started the day yesterday at 45, so well above where we're supposed to be, but our high, we only moved up, 4 degrees? That's not much, and still well below where we're supposed to be for this time of year. And today, a similar day. We're starting the day in the 40s. We're not really going to move much, but once the skies clear tonight, it is going to get downright cold. Sitting at 47 in Joplin and in Pittsburgh with cloudy skies in both locations. We've got 46 Fort Scott, 47 in Chanute, 48's Neodesha, Independence, and Parsons, 51 in Miami. If you head off to the south and west, it's a pinch warmer. We're starting to see the clearing taking place off to the northwest as well. 50 in Welch, 50 in Veneta. So make sure you're prepped because we have Thanksgiving in just a couple more days. Caitlin, would you like to know what Thanksgiving is going to be like?
Oh, Chris, I need to know because I need to know what to wear. And if it's too cold, I can't wear my party dresses.
That's absolutely true. Well, I've got great news. We've got to look at your Thanksgiving forecast and the weekend and Black Friday. But you got to stay tuned. We'll have a look at that here in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, with nicknames like Blackout Wednesday and Drinksgiving, the night before Thanksgiving has developed a reputation for heavy alcohol consumption and binge drinking. Unfortunately, that trend isn't isolated to the evening before the holiday. Unusually heavy traffic and the effects of holiday revelry and bar crawls are recognized as the biggest culprits behind the increase in drunk driving crashes during the Thanksgiving holiday period. Heavy consumption of alcohol and drugs is prevalent throughout the holiday weekend, leading to an increased risk of impaired driving crashes on already crowded roadways. Spokesman for AAA Kansas, Sean Stewart, says, quote, with more than 49 million Americans projected to be on the roadways during the long holiday weekend, those choosing to drive impaired are not only endangering themselves, but millions of others as well, end quote. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, more than 830 people have died nationwide in crashes involving a drunk driver over the Thanksgiving holiday period, Wednesday through Sunday, from 2017 to 2021. In Kansas, during the 5-day extended Thanksgiving weekends from 2017 to 2021, 27 people died in traffic crashes, including 5 involving alcohol impairment. Of the 3,384 vehicle crashes overall that occurred during this period, 128 were alcohol related. And that's a look at today's top stories and weather in the 4 states region. Up next on the KOAM News at Noon. For all you road warriors traveling this Thanksgiving holiday, we'll have some good news for your wallets. And later, Howard is going to show us how to carve a turkey in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Stay tuned. Gas prices are taking a dip just as millions of Americans get ready to travel this Thanksgiving. But it's not all good news if you're hitting the roads or skies. Jen Sullivan has a look at what drivers and passengers can expect heading into the Thanksgiving holiday.
Some good news if you're driving this holiday. Gas prices are taking a tumble just in time for Thanksgiving. And that's welcome news for people hitting the road.
The majority of people drive to their destinations.
As of Friday, the national average for a gallon of regular gas was $3.33, according to AAA. That's down 55 cents over the last 2 months. And GasBuddy projects those average prices will plummet even further, down to $3.25 or lower by Thanksgiving Day. Here's the catch. If you're driving, expect a lot of company on the roads. AAA estimates just over 49 million Americans will be driving to their destination this Thanksgiving.
This is a very busy forecast.
Airports are also expected to be packed. AAA predicting roughly 4.7 million Americans will fly. Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, which is the busiest in the world, is bracing for the surge in travelers.
We will have extra officers on duty to open additional screening lanes.
A similar situation at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport.
The winter holidays are really the second busiest time of the year for us.
So whether you're driving or flying to your destination, give yourself plenty of time to get there. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Still to come on KOAM News at Noon, we see what's cooking with Mr. Food.
Thanksgiving is a couple days away, and to get you ready, we'll show you how to make and carve the juiciest turkey ever.
But first, we're going to talk about what to expect from the rest of today, this week, and of course your holiday forecast. We'll be back with that and more right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. So we've had a pretty chilly, dreary, windy day across the 4 states out there. But I want to show you the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Why? Well, because look out to the north and to the west. What is that we see? We see the end of the clouds, which means some of us are already beginning to see some sun. Man, I cannot master the words today. The sun's coming out, okay? And that's what it's going to do as the clouds continue to push off to the south and east with this system exiting on out of here. So some of us are going to get a little more sunshine a little earlier, and that may actually allow you to make it right into the low 50s. But I mean, we're talking the very low 50s, while the rest of us are still just going to hang out in the upper 40s. MoDOT camera 20th in range line again showing the clouds out there. Roads beginning to dry out from the rain that we received, and that was some much needed rain. We still obviously need a lot more, but any rain we get is definitely progress at this point. Our camera on top of the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin, it is still breezy out there for sure, and of course down here it is still relatively cloudy, and still cloudy from the KDOT camera at US 69 and Kansas Crossing just south of Pittsburgh. So let's take another look. This is from 7th in range line, our camera there. The clouds are out there. Eventually we'll start to see some daylight. 47 in Joplin, so the temperature isn't so bad, but with those gusty north winds, is north-northwest at about 13, gusting to 22, makes it feel like it's 41, as if it wasn't cold enough. We've got the wind chill to go along with that. Over in Pittsburgh, 47 as well, feels like 42, north-northwest breeze at 10, and of course, it's been occasionally gusting upwards in that 20 to 25 mile an hour range out there. 46, Fort Scott, Nevada, 42, Iola, 48, Parsons, Independence, so say Sedan, for example, seeing a little more sunshine. They're at 50. And while we're not getting that same amount of sunshine down to the south, because you're all down to the south and warm air gets down there a little faster, we got 50s across northeast Oklahoma and even 51 in Miami right now. So let's take a look down the road. Over the next couple of days, aside from some cloud cover and the cool temperatures, we're not looking too bad as we go through this week. What we are still watching is that system as we head into the weekend. Now, one thing I want to emphasize for sure is we're not talking feet of snow or blizzard-like conditions or ice storms or anything like that. We're simply talking the fact that anything we get between the showers and a potential wintry mix as we go Saturday into Sunday could be just enough to make your travel plans a little more hazardous. That's why we just want to emphasize that for you, just to make sure you're aware of this weekend and that you're prepped for that if you're heading out of town and coming back this weekend, that the roads could be a bit on the slick side. As for today, again, upper 40s for most of us for highs, winds gusting out of the north up to 25. Still have that possibility of an isolated shower or two as these clouds move through. Skies clearing through the evening and overnight. That allows us to get pretty darn cold, well below average down into the upper 20s. Gusts still upwards of 20 miles an hour. Calmer winds tomorrow, southwest at 5 to 10, but still chilly. Even though we'll have plentiful sunshine, we're still only looking at the upper 40s for highs. Thanksgiving Day, this is what we're looking at right now. We've got partly cloudy skies to start, still looking to go mostly cloudy with those highs pushing into the mid-50s and a cold night as well as we fall back into the lower 30s. Heading into our Wednesday, because we don't want to, we already covered Wednesday. I'm so sorry. We are looking pretty good for Black Friday as well, but a little chilly, low 50s. After we get into next week, Monday and Tuesday are the warmest days we're going to have, and then by Wednesday, Thursday, our lows or our highs fall back into the upper 30s, near 40. With overnight lows back into the lower 20s. So it is just going to get straight up cold as we start to head into December.
All right. Well, it looks like I'll be shopping for some jackets then on Black Friday.
Absolutely. Some good heavy coats for sure.
All right. Well, stick around because we're learning how to carve a turkey in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. It's time to check in with Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. With Thanksgiving just around the corner, many of us are gearing up for the annual tradition of carving the perfect turkey. Now, whether you're a seasoned pro or a first-time carver, we've got you covered with expert tips and step-by-step guidance to ensure your Thanksgiving centerpiece is not only delicious, but also beautifully presented.
When I hear that many of you get up in the wee hours to get your turkey cooking so you can use your oven to make other stuff later, I just shake my head. I always suggest roasting your turkey the day before and then reheating it right before dinner. It takes just minutes, and you'd never know that the turkey didn't come right out of the oven. After cooking our turkey, we cool it before carving it. First, we remove the drumstick. Then we're going to gently bend back the thigh away from the frame and cut between the joint with a knife or kitchen shears. Next, cut along one side of the breastbone, like this, removing half of the breast in one piece. It'll look like a big boneless roast. After doing the same thing to the other breast, remove the wings and place the cut up turkey in a heavy roasting pan. Then you can pop it in the fridge overnight. To reheat it on Turkey Day, pour some chicken broth over it, cover it, and heat it in the oven or steam it right on the stovetop for about 15 minutes or so. Then, right before serving, slice the breast across the grain for the juiciest turkey ever. And since you cooked it ahead of time, you won't have that huge last-minute mess. The step-by-step video on how to carve a turkey, plus our recipe for classic roast turkey, are online now to change the way you cook and carve a turkey forever. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where every day we're looking for the easiest way for you to say, "Ooh, it's so good."
To find this recipe, along with many others, just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com and click on Mr. Food. Now here's a look at your 4 state market prices.
All right, Thanksgiving Day looking to be mostly cloudy. Temperatures into the mid to upper 50s, so about average, but lows back into the low 30s. Still upper 40s today, upper 40s tomorrow. More sunshine, cloudy on Black Friday, and then watching that system for some light showers, maybe a light wintry mix Saturday into Sunday. So again, not a big snowstorm, but if you're traveling this weekend, watch out for those slick spots.
Absolutely. And Dad, what do you have for us?
Well, we are all getting ready for Thanksgiving, and while you and your friends are enjoying a delicious meal, it's not the time to give your pets the same food. We're going to have some Thanksgiving food reminders for pet owners. Plus, thousands of vehicles hit the roads for the holidays, but is your ride ready to roll? And another renovated Carthage playground is complete and ready for play. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. Have a great rest of your day.